And we're live.
The reason I ask about the motorcycle thing is like, if I get a motorcycle, it'd be fun if we all went on some sort of a silly tour. But I don't know.
I have to see if they make a sidecar for my bike.
Oh, put him in a sidecar.
A sidecar. That seems actually very scary.
And not a mask.
You could get one of those. You could get a Can-Am. Are they called? Is it a Can-Am? Is that like weird like three-wheeler thing with the big tire in the back? And
they're very embarrassing. Yeah, you don't want that. That's basically like riding a snowmobile down the highway.
Yeah,
that's a snowmobile with wheels on it.
In Atlanta, that's what you get if you want to like show off, but you've only got $22,000.
Well, that's the Polaris Slingshot in LA. If you
that's what it is. That's what it is.
What is that a three-wheeler Polaris Slingshot?
Yeah, it's like it looks cool. It looks like something Batman would like. It looks like it would like come out of the Batmobile in emergencies, like when he's got to go off road or something.
It's a bad thing.
This looks kind of cool. It's very novel. It's neat looking. Yeah. This looks really unpleasant to drive.
The Can-Am, is that what you're looking
at? The Polaris Slingshot.
It's absolutely.
So I was looking at renting one in Denver, but they're like $200 a day, and I was like, "Fuck
no!"
That.
Listen, don't. Just don't. Save yourself, because there's a couple things to note with these things. One, the only reason this vehicle has three wheels, there's one reason and one reason alone, and that is so because if you have three wheels instead of four, you're a motorcycle, air quotes, motorcycle, and not a car, and therefore you don't have to have any safety features. So no crash testing, no roll structure, nothing required, no requirements. So if you add a fourth wheel, which is better for cars to have four wheels than three.
Yeah.
Not that must be why it's so popular.
That's why. And also this is built by a company that is mainly builds just off-road toys, ATVs.
Polaris.
It drives like an ATV that you've put tires on. It doesn't actually drive well.
These are cheap as shit. You can get one for like $19,000.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
not worth it.
A certain group of people. A certain group of people in Atlanta who might want to show off and be a little flashy will buy those, and you know
what it would be great for? You rent it for $50 an hour on South Beach, and you roll around for like 2 hours.
I agree with that.
That's the best use of that. I wrote another one of those called a Vanderhall. There's something called a Vanderhall Venice, which is a slightly more, let's call it, classy version of the same thing, and equally terrible to drive, very, very horrible to drive. It looks kind of cool, but it's the kind of thing you'd rent on South Beach for like $50 an hour.
Are any of these three-wheelers fun or good or no?
One of them actually is the Morgan three-wheeler, which you may have seen before. The Morgan three-wheeler is something that was a real thing back in the early 1900s before all cars were supposed to have four wheels or anything like that. And they brought it back about 10 years ago, and it's got a Harley Davidson engine in the front, and it's rear wheel drive, and it feels like you could die in it at any second, but it's also because of how it sounds like a Harley, that Harley. When you take a Harley engine and you put it in a little car, it sounds like a World War II Spitfire or something. And you want to put on a scarf and some fucking goggles and bomb London or something in this thing. And this one is, it's a piece of junk like all the rest of them, but it has so much character that it is actually a very good time, and it's sort of like a vacation from being yourself to drive one. They're hilarious fun. And actually, Morgan three-wheelers, they're so strange. You could park them anywhere. You could park them. My friend has one, my friend Alex Roy, and you can park them like illegally, just like fucking anywhere. Nobody gives a shit.
Motorcycles too.
Just leave it wherever you want. He comes out of the restaurant and women are just like sitting in it, taking pictures and stuff.
How much
like
is
weird it? Stuff. $50,000 new, maybe 35, 40 used.
I'm on their website and there's a lot of mixed messages. Like I'm trying to find prices for the car,
I'm described Morgan so well. Mixed.
Well, messages. I mean, I'm trying to find the prices for the car, and they just told me about a new kind of Ashwood gin they sell. They're trying to sell me a European man's handbag made of genuine leather. This is a car hammer from the turn of the century, a vehicle accessory. There's very little. This is so disjointed. What do they sell?
Merchandising, my friend. Merchandising.
Did you read what Zach wrote? We're told that 10 will be coming to buyers in the U.S. with the trikes official MSRP at a hefty $59,000.
Yeah, I think that's like the final edition. I think they're discontinuing the three-wheeler, and that's there's some kind of final edition that they're going to be selling 10 in the US. The fucking Morgan dealer is like really close to my house. The only one on the West Coast is really close to my house, and it looks exactly like you'd think a Morgan dealer would look. It looks like an old English shed in the middle of Santa Monica. It's so fucking funny and charming and hilarious. But three-wheelers are bad for a lot of reasons, the last of which is that in a car, you can straddle potholes. Well, if you've got a wheel in the middle, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really a problem because you have to pick, is it going to be your left leg, your right leg, or your ass that takes the impact of whatever it is in the road?
It's a super rough ride. You feel every bump.
Matt, does the Can-Am perform really well?
No.
Do you know Tail of the Dragon? Are you familiar with this road?
Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely.
I was on it a couple weeks ago, and
oh, cool. Was it great?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. And I might like the Snake even more, but in any case, I want to say there were Can-Ams all over it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're popular. Like, you know, I think they suck, but that doesn't mean I don't see a lot of them around. I mean, if there are people, and I think it's not anyone on this podcast, but there are people that are genuinely afraid of falling over on a motorcycle. And so if they want that feeling and they don't care or think they look as stupid as I think they look, and they want, you know, most of that motorcycle feeling, but with a virtually 0% chance of falling over, you know, that's how you end up on one of those things. I mean, it's better than one of those.
There's another upside that you haven't touched on. It's that it's really passenger friendly. Like there are like a lot of wives who maybe don't want to go on a motorcycle on the Tail of the Dragon who would enjoy it on the Can-Am.
Yeah, I suppose if you had a passenger that was not about motorcycles, this might be a half measure that would get them.
Which is like the whole world, right? Like people see a Can-Am and they feel like, oh, I've sat in car seats before.
You mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. I think it is less threatening, certainly, to a very strong subgroup of folks. Yeah,
if I was going on a road trip, though, if I was going on a road trip and I wouldn't do the half measure. If I was like, I don't want to do, I have no interest in a motorcycle ever. I'll never ride one. I don't care. If I was going to go anyway, I wouldn't go, I'll go halfway though and do a three-wheel. No, I'll just get a car.
So you're saying there's a chance
that
you know what? You know what is a lot of
in the AC, and I pack only my own lunch.
And you're going to carry the luggage.
All of us would consider, though, a motorcycle that weighs a reasonable amount of weight, right? And we all have, like, let's just say, legs that work. You know, if you were 70 and the kind of motorcycles you were used to riding were fucking 900-pound baggers, you probably don't see, well, maybe I'll just get a lighter motorcycle as a real option. You know what I mean? You have been accustomed to having cup holders and a fucking stereo, you know, and all kind of toilet on your motorcycle, and you don't want to give that up, you know?
I don't know if you'll know. Are there any motorcycles with air conditioning? Because I thought there were, and I'm not seeing it.
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen motorcycles with heated seats and hand grips, but I've never seen air conditioning. I've seen stereos. I mean, proper stereos. I've seen cup holders, but I haven't seen air conditioning.
Okay,
you know what I think? You know what I might have seen is a cool shirt setup for a motorcycle. Have you ever seen a cool shirt setup for a car?
I think I'm familiar with what astronauts do, where they like they don't air condition the room, they air condition the clothing.
Right, it's liquid cooled clothing, and so you would either in the more basic setups have an actual cooler with ice and ice water in it, and it would literally pump ice water all over your body, which is a setup that I had in one of my other cars. I built this Mustang, and rather than put air conditioning in it, I was like, I don't need to cool the car. Fucking cool me. And so I would put on this shirt when I went for a drive. It was great. And they have the more advanced ones that are actual air conditioning compressors that are self-contained. They have their own antifreeze-like gel as opposed to water. You would wear the same shirt, plug into a different little box. Now, I don't know if a motorcycle can output the kind of juice that can run that sort of thing. I don't see why you couldn't have one physically installed on a bike, but like you might need some kind of other power source or something. Because I don't know. I mean, a car will run it, but I don't know about a bike. Does a bike have like a 12 volt, like a proper 12? It doesn't have an alternator. They have stators, right?
Yeah, but there's 12 volt. Like you can charge your phone, and I run my GPS, and there's cigarette lighters on them. Mine is a cigarette lighter.
Man, if you got a cigarette lighter, then I suppose it could be possible.
Yeah, I don't know what it takes to run an air conditioner. I've only seen, you mentioned like, hey, here's the low tech, here's the high tech. I've seen lower tech where they're like, hear me out. Take your shirt, dunk it in cold water in the morning, and then the magic of evaporation lasts all day.
Oh, that's called the fucking hypothermia method. I mean, that's like, let's roll the dice. Will I get hypothermia today, or will I be just fine? That's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder how cold it gets with a wet shirt on a motorcycle.
Oh. I've had, we've had here where I live. I live in Venice. So in Venice Beach, it can be pretty cool. It can be cold, and so I had to go film. I think it was at Pan America, and I woke up in the morning and it was cool, but I knew it would be hot up in the mountains where I was filming. So I put my summer jacket on. I didn't have any. I had to commit to buy an outfit, right? So
because you're getting away from the ocean breeze.
Right.
Yeah,
so I get up there and it gets like 30 degrees hotter. In fact, it was so hot, and I was by myself that I think I permanently ruined my helmet because I sweated it so much. I think I have to get a new helmet. And I was so sweaty up there. I was happy to have my summer jacket on, but then I rode back down the mountain to Venice, and it got cold, and I was sweaty underneath the jacket, and I was freezing. And I had like 20 really cold minutes before I got home, and I was like, ugh, fuck filming motorcycles. This sucks. Never again.
I would think there was like some kind of a setup where like there was some sort of induction thing on the front. It's like a scoop on the front of your motorcycle that would suck air and pipe it into the sleeve of your jacket and like poof you up. So that you
just zip open. If you unzip your sleeves, you don't have to you don't need a system. It'll just.
I want some technology involved though, right? I want to be poofy all the time.
How about the jacket in Back to the Future 2? Your jacket is now dry.
Like yeah.
Kyle wants a complex solution to a simple problem.
Have you seen motorcycle airbags? Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
Personal wearable airbags for motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They look sort of like those slim life vests that you can wear that inflate as soon as you hit water. It's like that. But dude, this fucking thing detects when you are sailing through the air, and it inflates, and you are wearing an airbag.
Like Demolition Man. Remember
called?
Demolition Man, when like the car would like started flipping and the entire interior of the car filled.
The car turned into a cannoli. Yeah. Yo, we're totally living in the Demolition Man timeline. By the way, it's happening.
We are. Yeah, we're getting super PC.
We're right there.
It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem in like 5 years. You're not gonna be able to say shit.
Violations of the verbal morality.
I was imagining that. I just watched a video on the motorcycle airbag. It's really just around the neck and like to stabilize. I thought it was going to be a lot funnier.
No, it talks around your chest and around your
It doesn't
spine.
turn into a Zorb.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like stuff coming out of your arms, so basically you could like almost bounce. I know that was a really stupid way to.
It's kind of your torso and the neck thing to stabilize it. People don't get it. Like when you puff up your shoulders, suddenly your helmet's not wagging around.
Oh yeah, with your helmet on,
you're locked. Like Tommy Boy, like in Tommy Boy, where he's got the thing around his neck that pops up like that. It's actually like that, but for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.